for standing in solidarity with us against what happened in Kashmir a few days ago. I apologize. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I was forced to cancel my visit here yesterday because I had to go to Kashmir and meet some of the injured people. I'd also like to thank Revant Reddy ji and the Telangana government for hosting this wonderful summit. As we all know, politics, democratic politics, has fundamentally changed across the globe. The rules that applied, I would say, a decade ago, simply don't apply anymore. Sometimes, when I speak to younger members of our party, I tell them that what was effective 10 years ago, the tools that worked 10 years ago, simply do not work anymore. They cannot face the concentration of capital, modern media, modern social media. And so, in a sense, the old politician is dead, and a new politician, a new type of politician has to be constructed. And that really is the challenge in front of all of us. What does this new politics look like? What are the ideas that emerge from this new politics? I'm sure you've had a deep discussion about policies, about how we should think about education, how we should think about regaining the democratic space, how we should think about healthcare. And each one of us has a particular view on that. So I'm not going to delve too much into the policy positions. I'm going to talk about what I think is the correct lens with which to approach our politics. Some years ago, we in the Congress party felt completely trapped and isolated. This new politics, aggressive politics, a politics where the opposition is not talked to, but the idea is to crush the opposition. And we found that all our avenues were compromised. The media, the general atmosphere did not allow us to operate the way we would like. And so, we reached back into our history and we decided to walk from Kanyakumari, which is one of the southernmost parts of our country, all the way to Kashmir, where I was yesterday. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I and some of my colleagues discovered on that journey. It's not a small walk, 4,000 kilometers. And I don't think we understood quite what we had taken on when we began it. But once we began, there was no way backwards. So we just carried on walking right to the end. And I essentially learned two things from that walk. Our opposition across the world has a monopoly on anger, fear, and hatred. And there's no way that we are ever going to be able to compete with them on anger, fear, and hatred. They are going to outdo us, outmaneuver us, and beat us every single time when it comes to fear, anger, and hatred. So the question is, where and how do we operate? Where are the spaces where we have the advantage? Where are the spaces from which we can build a counter narrative? So the walk started in Kanyakumari, and slowly as it progressed, more and more people started to join this walk. And within 10-15 days, walk would start at 6 in the morning, and we would have thousands and thousands and thousands of people walking with us, pushing us, people trying to come in. And it was something to see. My job was walking and listening to people. And the one rule we had was that anybody, regardless of who he is, who she is, should be able to come to the center of where we were walking and have a conversation with me or the other leaders there. And so we followed this rule rigorously. As we walked, we talked and walked and talked and walked. I suddenly found that it became harder and harder to speak. Us politicians, we are trained to do this. We are trained to come on stage and talk. We are trained to tell people what we think. We are trained to think about the future. But while I was walking, the number...
ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಧ್ವನಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.